Yo, what is up everyone? It's Loza. We're looking at the anime Dark Magician deck that I've been playing in ranked. It's very fun. I want to put this out there. This is probably not the most competitive Dark Magician list, and I have replays at the end to prove this. But this deck does pop off and go hard. The reason it's so fun is we're maximizing on Eye of Timaeus as well as the True Name, which are very anime-esque cards. To make sure these cards resolve, we're playing Prep at 3, Illusion of Chaos at 3, try and get that Magician's Souls also at 3. So we've got basically 9 ways to Dark Magician on the field, which is what we need. But to top this off, we've also got True Name, and True Name is best when you know the cards stacked on your deck. The 3 Prep 3 Illusion of Chaos helps for Eye of Timaeus, but it also helps for True Name, and Soul Servant also works with True Name, and Circle works with True Name. So there's actually, we've got 12 cards here that work with True Name exceptionally well. So that's pretty huge if you ask me. So True Name should always be resolving more or less in this build. There is definitely times where it's a brick, same with Eye of Timaeus, but this deck embraces bricking and just really aims to be the most anime Dark Magician deck it can by playing an Egyptian god. Now, of course, some of you might say Yugi played Slifer, not Obelisk, but Yugi did get all the Egyptian gods, and Slifer's the best one to play, so we're gonna, Obelisk is the best one to play, so we're gonna play Obelisk. Now, in terms of other anime cards, we are playing the 1 Piercing the Darkness. Still 1 because it's just not very good. Being unsearchable like the rest of these is definitely a problem, but it also just doesn't really do anything without a Dark Magician or anything else. So I thought, you know what, play it on. If you see it, and that's fine. Apart from this, this is a pretty normal build. Triple DM, yup, triple because it's anime. Triple Souls, 1 Magic Karibo, because Yugioh always used Karibo, and he's a cute little guy. Triple Maxi. Now that you'll see there's no other hand traps in this build or even interruption for the opponent's turn. This build just aims to go second on OTK. And Maxi is purely here. You just drop it. You just drop it and make the opponent pass. You don't even think, you don't even chain it at the appropriate time. Every time I've used Maxi with this deck, I just drop it immediately and the opponent normally just passes and then you play. It's as simple as that. You don't have anything you're drawing into, so it's fine to just drop it and pass till next turn. If you do need the draws, however, you can time it a little more correctly. Anyway, Triple Rod, 1 DMG because we're anime, 1 Apprentice because this card's still great at 1, and 1 Timaeus. And the reason why you play this Apprentice and Timaeus at 1 is because they're kind of like a toolbox. Cards you can go and grab with your Prep Illusion of Chaos. You can go grab your 1-obs. Rod and Souls are your bread and butter, but these are like your little slices on the side if you need them. Obelisk we've already spoken about. You bring it out with True Name, and if you do open it, you hope to be able to grab Prep Illusion of Chaos and just put that Obelisk back in the deck. But yeah, it's overall okay. Triple Prep, Triple Illusion of Chaos. This speaks for itself. This card searches our deck, and this card searches the card that searches our deck. It makes sense. If you open up Triple Prep, you can Prep, grab Illusion of Chaos. Illusion of Chaos grabs Soul, summon Souls, send the 2 Preps for draws, so it's never a brick. Triple Prep's amazing. Illusion of Chaos is probably the one you would cut before you cut on Preps, if that makes sense. I see people cut on Prep and max on this. It seems wrong, but anyway. Eye of Timaeus at 3. This is an anime build, so we're going to play 3. I probably should dismantle these and try to roll for all prismatic ones, or whatever this rarity is called, the glossy ones. Same with True Name, should dismantle them and try to get all glossy, right? Yeah, True Name, cool card. 1 Salvation because it acts as a 3rd copy of Eternal Soul without having to be that. Plus, it being on the field means you can send it for Timaeus summon. You can send it with Souls for draws. Like, there's actually a lot of uses for this card besides its actual use. Summoning back DMG doesn't occur too often, it's not that relevant, but everything else about this card is good. Triple Circle, which is a bit unusual for me, but yeah, Triple Circle because anime build, and I've been enjoying Triple Circle lately, not gonna lie. Pure DM feeling really good on Master Duel right now because there's nothing else to do. 1 Piercing, we spoke about this already. Triple Soul Servant, the best DM spell. Trap can let you draw 2, chains with your Circle, chains with your True Name, chains with just like half the deck. It's really, really good. One thing you can add in, but I went for pure anime build instead. Upstart is perfectly like a good card to synergize with Soul Servant. You just play Upstart, your opponent shouldn't ash it unless they're very silly. Chain your Soul Servant, you're able to add literally anything in your deck. Normally you'll add Illusion of Chaos to grab Magician Souls, but that's up to you. You can also play the conveniently better card in Master Duel, Chicken Game. This card's insane. You can, activate Soul Servant, stack Magician Souls, Chicken Game, and draw 1, draw into that Magician Souls. Then Magician Souls this guy, banish your Soul Servant, draw 1, and then Magician Souls, send Chicken Game for a draw 1. So you've actually gone plus. And you can also send any additional cards you have at that point. Like if you drew another spell trap that's useless of Soul Servant, cool, this can send the Chicken Game and whatever you draw off this. So absolutely crazy in this deck, better than Upstart, but sometimes it gets stuck on your field and you can't deal damage to your opponent because of it, so it's a bit annoying. But yeah, it happens sometimes. Terraforming used to help because you could just go grab our field spell and that would wipe this out, or you grab Village and that would wipe this off your field if you didn't have Magician Souls to do it, so that sucks, but it is what it is. Feel free to add those if you want a slightly more competitive list, I would say. But yeah, 1 secrets because this lets us ritual summon Illusion of Chaos, which doesn't happen very often, but mainly it lets us access a bunch of these fusions. Now some of these fusions we cannot access without Eye of Timaeus. For example, Eye of Timaeus lets us make Dark Paladin, which we'll never be able to make, and it lets us make Dark Cavalry, which we'll never be able to make with the standard secrets or Timaeus in the deck. The monster Timaeus and the normal secrets can only make Master of Chaos, Dark Magicians, Dark Magician Dragon Knight, and yeah, we can also make Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight. So I've never made this card. It seems pretty good though. Quick effect, send a card from hand to grave, target a card on the field, pop it. It's not bad. It just doesn't have protection. It's not Dark Magician. It's not protected by Eternal Soul. It's a very cute card though, but it's not great. Speaking of the extra deck, we've got 6 DM fusions, which is way more than I'd ever play. Very, very DM. I'm missing my favorite one though, the Dark Flare Knight. He is a Chad, but we're not playing him today. Anyway, we've got the little Naruto package. So this package is for when you open Apprentice and Magician Souls, and you summon out DMG off the Souls, and discard and summon the Apprentice. You can go into Naruto, 2 level 6 spellcasters. It's a spell trap negate, which is pretty nifty. But then you can also rank it up into Ebon, summon out DM, and then you've actually got DM and DMG in the grave for Soul Servant draws, for example. And you can even, if it's going second, you can go into Zeus after attacking with the Ebon or the Naruto, so that's really nice. And if you do go Naruto, Ebon, Zeus, you've got a double material Zeus, you've got 4 material Zeus, so it's pretty nice. So while that's not quite anime, these 2 cards are pretty anime, and Zeus is there because he's really good. Now I've got I'm Dark. Now this just lets you recycle your DM. So you send your DM to the grave, and I'm Dark lets you summon it back out if you've got the Eternal Soul and Circle loop set up and you just want to keep pumping out DM. It's a great way to get DM off your field if you don't see your secrets or anything else like your Eye of Timaeus. Artemis, just to get Rod off the field. You do have hands where you just can't get Rod off the field, and the reason you want to get Rod off the field is that grave effect where you can tribute a spellcast. If you use a spell trap in the opponent's turn, tribute a spellcast to add this card to your hand, so it recycles itself. But you do need to flip up like an Eternal Soul or Soul Servant or something reminiscent of that. So Artemis just lets you get that DM in the grave, so you can, that Rod in the grave, so you can facilitate the recycle process. Dark the Dark Charm. This card's insane, and it lets you climb up to Selene and then access code and just pop your opponent's board. It's very good. One more boss monster of the deck, the BLS Link 3. This card's insane. Single-handedly can win you the Eldritch matchup and the Labyrinth matchup. You summon this out and you try to get the gain 1500 attack effect, and then from there you just win the game. It's kind of incredible. But it's also very anime because Yugi used BLS, of course, so you love to see it.
Hey you, yeah you, you've been wondering where I get my singles from. Well, it brings me great joy to say I get my singles from Grimdark Gaming. Whether you play Yu-Gi-Oh!, Digimon, Dragon Ball, Flesh and Blood, Magic the Gathering, MetaZoo, or whatever it is you're after, make sure with your purchase to use code LOZA2 and apply that to get 5% off your order. And of course, that 5% goes to helping me out to make this channel so awesome for you. So make sure you check out Grimdark Gaming down in the description of this video and use the promo code LOZA2.
Alright, so we've opened up Double Max C, which is pretty good actually. Now unfortunately we're Magician Souls, and we choose the effect to summon the Souls, which means we're locked into it. If we pick Summon DM, we could have just picked the effect to not summon, and then we wouldn't play into the Max C here. Unfortunately we already played into the Max C, so at this point it's kind of like, well, may as well just keep going, and we get ashed, so that sucks. Now luckily we do have the two Max Cs, so what we're going to do here is send the Eternal Soul for draws because we're pretty desperate. We're going to find a Circle, which is pretty good, find a Secrets, which doesn't do anything, and we're just going to pass on that. So not really an ideal scenario outcome, but you know what? We've seen the top 3 with Circle, and I believe we've seen Illusion of Chaos on the top of the deck, and we put it there. Now we're going to see a Tier Element card come down, and we're just going to chain the Maxx C because this just makes our opponent want to pass turn, and that's all this build can really do with the Maxx C. Illusion of Chaos grabs Rod, and then we're just able to play. They're going to summon a Tier Element, and we're just going to chain Maxx C because we're greedy and we want to draw. It works out being pretty good though, because that draw is the Illusion of Chaos. Even though we shuffled our deck, we still drew the Illusion of Chaos, which is weird. We're going to use Salvation, grab that Eternal Soul, and we're going to send that Salvation, get an extra draw. Fortunately, we draw DM, but it doesn't really matter because they just skip them. I was hoping we were versing Blue Eyes this game because of the Blue Eyes little icon up there, but I don't think we are. We're going to Illusion of Chaos to grab Rod, and we'll put the Illusion of Chaos away. Rod to grab Circle, Circle to chain the Soul Servant, and then confirm the Salvation / Eternal Soul. From there, Magician Souls, we're going to send and pick to summon the DM. This plays around the Maxx C as well, but it also means we can make fusions with the Tamias in our hand. Salvation is going to bring that Eternal Soul out. We're actually going to Tamias away the DMG because we do have that Soul Servant still in the grave, so this is going to give us an additional draw. It's going to also give us the Dragon Knight, but it's also going to summon back the DMG because Dark Magician Dragon Knight treats itself as Dark Magician. This gives us Eye of Tamias, which means we can Eye of Tamias on our Dragon Knight since he has a Dark Magician. This can give us the Dark Magicians. We could have made any of the DM fusions here. I chose to make Dark Magicians because I had Prep in hand, which meant I'm going to get another draw. Unfortunately, that draw doesn't really get us anywhere, but it's still pretty good. That's all we're really going to do here. We're going to pass on Artemis. The Pot of Prosperity is going to come out here, and we see that our opponent's playing Medolce. Though they took the Solemn Judgment, which is a bit strange. We're going to see the normal summon coming down here and specialing out Messenger Lardo. We also drew him the True Name, which doesn't really help, but that's cool. Eternal Soul's going to come out here, and we're going to bring out Dragon Knight, and we're going to target one of the spells, I believe, the one that gives him an additional normal. We're just going to say goodbye to that. Hopefully that's the end of the turn here, because we don't really have anything else to do. Probably didn't need to grab Rod back, but he can go to battle phase and hit over Artemis, so we may as well tribute the Artemis, grab Rod back. Going to draw Prep for turn. We've also got True Name and Illusion of Chaos, so we are just going to pop off here, right? And Medolce is actually quite a good competitive deck. It has seen some success in TCG tournaments, so I think that's really cool that we're playing Anime DM and we're competing against Medolce, which I would argue is a pretty decent deck. So here we go with True Name, Illusion of Chaos, and then we're able to summon out Obelisk. It's a very anime board right now. So we're just going to get through the board, and I believe we're going to finish the game with Obelisk because it's cool. This last replay is to prove that this build is a bricky mess. Look at this hand. What do we do with this hand? Unfortunately, even with Maxx C, this hand is pretty doomed. We get Lightning Storm. We're going to chain that Eternal Soul mainly because we want DM or DMG on the field grave. This turns on Soul Servant. This just means if we top deck Soul Servant, we actually can play. It also turns on Eternal Soul and just other cards in general. Unfortunately, that top deck is True Name, but our opponent also just doesn't play. So the only reason this game is still going is because the opponent clearly is bricked as well, or they're playing some weird deck. And there you go. We're on turn 6 or turn 7, and we haven't got a play yet. So please take this deck list with a grain of salt. This deck list is not made to be competitive. This deck list is made to be anime and resolve True Name. Very fun, and it is fun. Eye of Tamias and True Name are fun cards. They're very, very reminiscent of those anime duels in the times, but they don't really hold up, and they do create brickiness like this hand here. Eye of Tamias should be able to use that hand summon. I think that is very silly that it doesn't. I also missed Magikaribo's effect here. Could have used Magikaribo effect, but I clicked no thinking I could do it in the end phase as well, but you cannot. It's main or battle phase only, so any Magikaribo enjoyers there, don't forget that for next time. We're going to summon out our big boy Obelisk, but if you look at our hand, we actually can't do anything else. But the good news is we are going to get drop loaded here, which is really good because we can now use the magic reaver I forgot to use before, and summon out Dark Magician, trigger the circle, banish the back row, and then we're going to move to main phase 2, and go Salvation, set up Eternal Soul. Now we can Eye of Timaeus, so it actually worked out pretty good. It is turn 9 though, so this doesn't mean the deck is good by any regard. It's turn 9. Any deck can do 1,000 more things than this deck on turn 9, so if we could do this stuff turn 1, that'd be great, but it doesn't happen every game. Eye of Timaeus is quirky like that. Alright, we're gonna get drop loaded again on the Dragon Knight. It's fine. Alright, summon Dragon Knight, we just get rid of the face down because we don't know what it is. Cyber Dragon's cool, we don't care. I'm gonna prep for Evolution to Chaos. We're going to Eye of Timaeus, we can run any of the fusions here. Currently what I make Master because it gives us OTK. Master's gonna summon back Dragon Knight, and then we can trigger Circle. And we've still got Eternal Soul in the battle phase, but we're gonna go and extend just in case they have a battle hand trap of some sort. We're gonna grab Rod and Secrets, and now we go to battle phase. And this is more than enough damage. We've still got Secrets, we've still got Eternal Soul effect. Super big amount of damage, but it is going to be turn 11 or something. But yes, the deck can brick. The deck can brick very bad.